Hey guys, my name's Luke and today I'm going to be drawing this guy right here. So stick around. Alright, let's begin this episode. I'm going to be drawing the Incredible Hulk. I got a request to draw him from Instagram, so I decided to do that, and I'm trying out a new setup here. Sorry if the folder underneath looks kind of gross. I promise it's not. It's just sometimes I test the markers on the back of the folders or on the back of the cardboard that comes on sketch pads and stuff like that, and that's my big sketch pad. I've actually been using it a lot because I've been working on you can kinda, I'm not really showing what I'm doing here, but I'm working on the face. Being left-handed, it's really tough to make videos because I have to be conscious of how I'm covering the art, so I don't know. Anyway, I've been using the big sketch pad. I'm actually working on a my own user-created comic, user-owned comic, and we'll see how it goes. I kind of want it to be just a graphic novel, not an ongoing thing, and really showcase, I don't know, my style, my art, but also storytelling, and hopefully pick up some support for that. So we'll see what happens. It's in the early phases. I've only done 4 pages, and currently working on page 5 and 6. I have a script up to about page 10. And I have pretty much the whole thing planned out on the side. If you're working on a comic, or if you want to do something like that, you gotta have a lot of things in mind. First of all, you have to have overarching themes, ideas, stories. So I keep a side journal, which is an idea journal, and in there I have all the ideas of where I want this graphic novel, for example, to go. So I do the main ideas, and then I do main things about the character, like what is he like or what is she like, and what kind of person are they, all that stuff. And then script, you need to have script, so I do a lot of versions of script, and I have a couple of those in that same idea journal. And I usually work the script 2 or 3 pages at a time, and then go back and see if I want to change things or rewrite things, etc. And you can kind of see me here on this art piece for the Hulk. I don't really draw hulking creatures all that much, so I'm kind of looking at them right now in my journal. I'm very happy with the way overall it came out. You want to think gorilla. You want to think gorilla. A lot of meat, a lot of how does one layer of the meat that this person has cake on top of the next layer. So instead of thinking about chiseled builds and lean muscle, think I'm going to stack muscle on muscle. Imagine you're holding a bunch of steaks, like T-bone and like tri-tip steaks in your arms, and you're going to stack them on a table. They stack over each other, they bend over each other, they fold over each other, and you just kind of want to draw it that way. He's not going to have the most tone and defined muscles because he has so many muscles that it's just meat on top of meat. That's how I considered it anyway. So at this point, I'm laying down a very thick, I decided to go with a very thick brush pen for this one, and just kind of that back foot, just cast it in complete shadow so I don't have to worry about it. I'm trying to imagine him running forward across like a field or something, and you can kind of see me doing that right here. As for the shadows, I went for very thick shadows on the bottom of his on his leg and on the other part of his leg, because I want it to look like he's running forward, his leg is receding back. So one leg is way far back and the other one, even though it's forward, the upper leg is forward, the lower leg is still behind. Imagine when you're running, your legs have kind of like a Z pattern going to them, a zigzag pattern. So I'm trying to convey that with a little bit of shadow, hard shadow. And as for the overall form of the figure, it could have been better. I mean, I'm looking at his right arm, the arm that appears on the left side of the page, and I mean, I could have done a better job. I don't know, but it was for a sketch, for a daily sketch, and it's in my sketchbook, so it's no big deal. Again, we learn from our mistakes, and next time I want to draw the Hulk, I'll be able to come back and look at this one and say, okay, well, I like most of it. Let me just, when I draw him, be very conscious of the way his back looks, Be very conscious of the way his muscles fold over, and be very conscious of the way his arm muscles are if you're going to have him in this kind of pose again. And I didn't want to worry about hair color for the Hulk, so I just kind of went with a black, and just kind of a lot of black. I could have left it as a black and white drawing, and that would have been kind of cool, but I decided to color it because this follower on Instagram wanted me to try it. He said, and I quote, "I don't know if you've ever drawn the Hulk, but I'm pretty sure it will be cool." So it was pretty cool. Recently I did a hike in Colby Trail over in Glendora, and while I was up there I hiked to the top of the Glendora mountain chain, and when I got to the top I decided to do an art drop. So I did a daily sketch up there, which I have posted on Instagram, and you can kind of see the video on Instagram as well. And after the daily sketch, I wrote on the back that if you find it, contact me either through Instagram or YouTube or something. Take a picture with it, show me that you have it, and follow me on Instagram, and then I will draw whatever commission piece you want. I'll fully render it, including painting or whatever you want, all for free, just because you went up there and you did it, and good job. So it was really fun. I might do that again because it was a good experience, and it's always nice to try new things. So I like hiking. I used to go hiking a lot more, but I enjoy it when I go. And I did a pretty good hike there, and it was a lot of fun. As you can see here, I'm going into the Hulk, and I'm just coloring him with a flat light green, almost a lime green. I think this green is called citrus green, so pretty sure it's supposed to be lime green. Now I'm using a dark, what is this? This is a toned tan Strathmore sketchbook, and the colors of markers and the watercolors and all that, they play off the different colored paper a lot differently. So it's really important when you try a new paper, new color, or new texture of the paper, that you spend 1 or 2 pages just kind of mapping out how things blend on the page. So usually in the front pages of my sketchbooks, there's a lot of color palettes with all the colors labeled and stuff like that. More recently, I've just kind of been throwing things on the paper and not worrying about whether the colors will blend nicely or anything. But normally, if you're new to it, or if you've never worked with that paper before, try it. I've worked with this paper many times. I love it. So I'm pretty used to the way it changes everything. You can't really use skin tones on this paper because it just comes out as very dark gray. It's very weird effect that it has on it. So once I went in with my flat colors, my citrus green there and my light purple, I decided to go back in with a darker tone of green, and I will also do a darker tone of purple, and kind of go back and accent some of the folds, accent some of the shadows, and really give the drawing some form through shadow. Remember that shadow and light will help you convey form. If everything just has the same flat palette on it, then the form won't really shine through other than the way you've inked your drawing. In other words, if you use a ballpoint pen, which doesn't have a lot of brushed tips and stuff, the drawing will come out very, excuse me, I'm tripping all over my words. The drawing will come out flat. It will all have the same density, and it will all look the same. So what you can do to help that is go in with darker and lighter colors, or shade with a pencil, stuff like that. Now I went in with the brush pen, so that helps give the form even more texture and even more physicality because of the way the brush pen lifts off and dives into the paper. When it lifts off, it gives a sense that something is on top of something else, and when you get those thick lines, it gives a sense of shadow. And then combine that with a light and dark contrasting color palette, then you can really convey some very sharp forms, and I'm a big fan of doing that. So you can kind of see me here going in, even with the rocks. I decided to do that just to, and I noticed that the brown was coming out too dark, so I went in and I just kind of smudged it with my hand a little bit, just to make sure that it wasn't too dark, only in the places that I had drawn. And now I'm going to go in with just a light warm gray. I'm sorry, I think this is a cool gray. And even more accents on some of the heavy shadows and just so I can have a blend between a dark green, a middle tone, and then a lighter tone. And if you can, in all your drawings, try to have all three tones, as it'll really help out. Now, one of the last things I do here is the face, because I had forgotten to do the face, and that's pretty hilarious. And then off camera, I ended up doing a little bit of white gel pen to make some of the items pop. For example, the teeth, the eyes, and some of the hair follicles and stuff like that. So let's take a look at the final drawing, and there it is. I hope you liked the video, and thank you for watching. Thanks for watching the video. If you want, you can check out the last video I posted in the link below. There's also Facebook, Instagram, and Etsy links provided here for you to check out and hopefully see some stuff you like. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you soon. Take care.